Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I'm Arsham and I'm going to help you with Python programming. Today I've got something really cool for you. Either you're just starting Python or you want to improve your programming skills. These top 10 tips and tricks are going to make your programming life so much easier. Before we dive into the tips, have you ever felt stuck while coding in Python? Maybe you run into problems that seems hard to solve, or you just want to code faster and smarter. Well, you are in the right place. These tips are going to help you a lot. And make sure you stay until the end of the video because I'll be recommending a really awesome book that changed the way I code. The Clean Code by Robert C. Martin. Alright, let's get started. Tip number 1 is to use meaningful variable names. Instead of naming your variable x or y, use names that describe what the variable is for. For example, instead of x, just use user age, username, or for example, total price. This makes your code easier to read and understand. Tip number 2 is to use list comprehensions. They are a quick way to create lists. Instead of using a for loop that takes 3 lines, you can just do it in 1 line. Check this out. Tip number 3 is to use built-in functions. Functions like blend, max, min, and sum are a very time saver and can save a lot of time. For example, tip number 4 is to use enumerate function when you need a counter in your loop. This is cleaner than manually increasing a counter. Tip number 5 is to write modular code by using functions. Breaking your code into smaller functions makes it easier to test and reuse. For example, tip number 6 is to handle exceptions gracefully using try except blocks. This helps prevent your program from crashing when something unexpected happens. Tip number 7 is to use the with statement for file operations. It makes sure that your file is properly closed after its switch finishes, even if an error happens. Tip number 8 is to use dictionaries for fast lookups. They are much faster than lists for finding an item based on a key. Tip number 9 is to use the zip function to go over multiple lists at the same time. This is very useful when you have related data in separate lists. And finally, tip number 10. Always comment your code. This is super important for maintaining your code and helping others to understand it. And now, as I mentioned at the beginning, I want to recommend a really good book that changed the way I code. It's called Clean Code by Robert C. Martin. This book is must-read for anyone serious about coding. It teaches you how to write clean, easy to read, and manageable code. The tips and examples in Clean Code will help you to become a better programmer. If you haven't read it yet, I highly recommend you get a copy. And that's it for today's video. I hope you found these tips and tricks helpful. If you did, please give this video a thumbs up and consider subscribing for more programming content. Leave a comment below with your favorite tip or if you have any question. Thanks for watching and I'll see you in the next video.